Welcome back to Tim Butterly's show. Guys, it's been a bit of a disaster, productivity-wise, of a week for me. Came crashing down after, I would say, a week of heroic effort in the podcasting space. I think I did 9 podcasts. Every thought that came into my head for an entire week had to leave it as soon as physically possible so that I could do a good job in the dumbest job in the world. And I spent every last drop of effort and energy, and here I am on the other side, completely dumping while my family is deathly ill, crashing down, a week of solitude, hiding in the basement from the dastardly norovirus that is sweeping the nation, puking, diarrheaing. I think that's it. Both of those things. Oh my God. It smelled like an ICU in our house. And I thought, oh my God, if I get this, it's over. I can't afford being sick for 2.5 days. That would end me. The train would come to a halt. Everyone would get off. And so we sequestered everyone in their rooms. Everyone had to stay in their room with a bucket. We did a pretty good job. No, MJ did a pretty good job of disinfecting the entire house to protect me. My wife sacrificed herself to save me from germs. I mean, that actually makes me sound pretty lame. But she rules. And I hid in the basement. MJ she took point. She took over the living room and held down the fort. And we contained the virus to 2 of the children. So far, oh my God, imagine if we caught like a aftershock of it. So MJ stayed healthy, and she banished me into the basement, where I've spent the last 5 days slowly losing my mind, panicking at every moment. I'm going to miss something. I'm going to fuck something up by chilling out for a few days. But I was dedicated, my entire platform revolves around finding the grimiest, most retarded dudes on the internet. And I gave it my all. And after probably 1 full day of just being in the basement, watching retarded guys online, I really start to feel symptoms of brain rot. I have adult brain rot. And the moment I think it really went off the rails was someone sent me a link of, there's an NHL player who's like, I guess, not getting it done. And so he took a contract in an Indian hockey league. And I was just like, my first reaction was like, I got to know more about this. And it was like probably pretty late at night. And I'd been sitting still for a while. And as soon as that like neuron fired in my brain that I need to learn more about the Indian hockey league, I was just like, oh no. But I do want to know more. I had to pull myself away from it, but I do genuinely want to know more. That's crazy. That's crazy. Just to make crazy imagining Indians running a hockey rink. Like 40 of them climbing on the Zamboni between periods and hanging off with like 1 million like giant sacks of stuff. Do you think they do that? The ice looked like shit, by the way. Yeah. Dudes kept pouring flavored syrup on it to try to serve it to people. It was a fucking nightmare. But I guess they're paying the guy okay. But yeah, that hit my feed, and I was just like, oh man, I gotta turn it around. I seriously can't be subjecting myself to every like thing on the internet. I did this when I was younger, and I got away from it for a while. And now that it's part of the show, I've like gone way too hard on it. And I think there's actually been some pushback. People are kind of sick of the retarded guys. So it's like, loud and clear, man. I think it's having an effect on all of us. I know Noah really isn't pleased when I show him super unpleasant internet stuff. So let me just say, I hear you guys, and I'm concerned for myself. So we're gonna we could change gears a little bit, I do want to spend more time playing video games. I think I've been talking a big game about games for a long time, and to be honest, dude, I barely pick them up anymore. It's such a fucking bummer. The one thing that actually might have saved me this week was I got into Balatro. I don't know if you guys, it's probably the number one game people throw at me when they go, "Hey, Butterleaf, you played whatever?" It's always Balatro. And I took one look at it and I said, "Oh no, that seems like a really complicated thing I could really spurg out on. See, I bet you I could really hyperfixate on that and kind of obsess over it and spend a lot of time playing it. And then when I stop playing it, I'm still thinking about it for a little while. But I had a lot of time on my hands this week, and I fucking jumped in, and it rules. I got MJ on it. It's poker combined with solitaire, basically. And, man, when those multipliers hit, that's pretty fucking good, dude. Oh, man. So that helped me. That was a nice comfort. And probably my saving grace. Thank God I finished Chrono Trigger for the first time right before I locked myself in the basement. And that, you know, I'm probably talking to a lot of people that know about Chrono Trigger, I hope. If not, you're around dudes who know about Chrono Trigger. I tried it when I was younger. I tried it when I was in high school. Oh my God, I'm about to get really personal here. Honestly, didn't get it. I know. I love a lot of Super Nintendo RPGs. Actually, I mostly love Final Fantasy. I've tried a lot of them, and they mostly don't move the right way for me. Like Secret of Mana, the whole like standing there waiting for attacks to do ugh, not for me. But I get where they stand in like the, you know, the tier list, right? So I finally got around to Chrono Trigger. I played a ton of it when we were on the cruise on Shiprocked. And I know you're thinking, wow, you're on a Caribbean vacation with your wife, 3 days, and Jay and Fenoya leave 3 days into the cruise. We're still there for another 3 whole days. You're thinking, damn, that doesn't seem like a great idea to play SNES RPGs. Guess what? It's the best time to play SNES RPGs. You keep your wife out super late, get her really fucked up, and then she wants to sleep in till noon minimum. You, as you've been doing since you were a small child, are getting up 6 a.m. If you have a day off, you're waking up at 6 a.m. because you're going to be first to the video games. So I put a ton of time in Chrono Trigger on the boat, but I get it now. I get it. The music, the settings and stuff like that. Okay, I understand it. I wasn't prepared. It was too refined for my teenage brain, and I can admit that I've grown and I'm different now, and I give it up. It might be the most charming thing I've ever taken in. I love it. And that, so I'm hanging on. I'm literally hanging on by video games right now. Anyway, I have no one to be my guest. Everyone's sick. All of my friends are sick or have been on the show in the last month. Noah and Dylan fled they turned hide and fled the city. They're in Chicago seeking their destiny. I'm all by myself. Is a solo podcast a good idea? Probably not. I don't know that I've enjoyed one ever, but it seems like I have enough cabin fever. I'm ready for the challenge. So I figured, why not get out of the studio, get out of a space where I would feel like I was just missing people to talk to and make laugh, and come out to where I do most of my real thinking. Let's get away from the internet for a day. Let's hang out in Pennypack Park and get really high and see what's up. Let's go. Kind of on another video game related thing, I started like watching the news and stuff again and keeping up with like current events, because most of the current events I get are like people arguing about like the Jews. I get both sides of the Jew thing, and that's truly most of my For You on Twitter. And you know, I don't have a dog in that fight, but you know, a little bit of that goes a long way, you know? So I started like paying attention to stuff, which is torture. I hate it. I think I've got Elon Musk figured out. I think I'm the 8 billionth person to figure out Elon Musk. But he's about to be, so Carl Jobst, a guy who makes like video game like speed running and controversy documentaries. Actually, he fucking rules. He's like an Australian guy, and he starts all of his videos with greetings, you absolute legends. I think he says greetings. Actually, I haven't watched him in a while. The Billy Mitchell thing. He got into a lawsuit argument with Billy Mitchell, the bad guy from King of Kong. It was this whole thing. I think Carl Jobs might be like kind of like an annoying investigative reporter for these guys. And when he comes calling, it's like, oh no, the piece is about to come out. Anyway, so Elon Musk brags about being like a top-ranked like Diablo 4 and Path of Exile player. They're like, if anyone doesn't know, they're just like modern RPGs with like an online leaderboard. And I think he plays in like hardcore mode, so you build your character, and when you die, it's permanent. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of whatever. Look, the games aren't for me. Okay, when I don't like the cycle of just like doing the same activities over and over again and hoping for better loot. I've covered this, but I get that it's for some people. It's for some people, and that's okay. But anyway, he started bragging about being really highly ranked on competitive, whatever, leaderboards in the games, and he started getting accused of cheating, which isn't quite what he did though. He did what's called boosting, and boosting is so there's a competitive video game and you want to be highly ranked, so you pay like a Korean teenage video game slave, and they grind away at the game, and they put you at the top. You know what I mean? And it's not a good thing to do, but it's not cheating because you're not even playing the game. And this pissed me off. This was the most emotional reaction I had to Elon Musk when this came out. I said, boosting, you dishonorable, whatever else you're into, even if that was a real Sieg Heil, you know what? I don't know what fame does to a guy's brain, but boosting? Me and my boys are in these lobbies. And you're paying Asian, like, genetically modified children that live in internet cafes and don't have families to, like, interact with and other jobs. It's like, that's all they do, dude. They sleep in a fucking bin. And then whenever they're supposed to log in for North American servers, or I think they even play Asian servers, and that's one of the things that tip people off. They slide the bin out in the morning and they say, "Come on, Yoshi, it's time to take Elon to the top." But it's not cheating because he's not playing the game. And if he were to sit down and play it, he wouldn't have any. Apparently, one of the things that like made people suspicious was he played Path of Exile, which he bragged about being really highly ranked. And sorry, there's people walking by, and I look like a fucking psychopath right now. But he's not playing the game. He sat down and played Path of Exile, and they showed off his character on a stream, and he like didn't know, like, he was kind of confused by his own inventory, and he had like really high level items, and he was just like, I'm not so sure what that one does or whatever, or like this one's like overrated, and people were like, overrated, bro, that's the most OP like relic in the game. Anyway, they start sniffing, they realize that he most likely did, and now Carl Jobs is about to drop the fucking nuke. And I think this might be it for Elon, man. He's had a lot of controversies. He's had a lot of gaffes, dude. But this might be it. Gamergate changed the entire world by accident in the most annoying ways possible. But this is gonna be Gamergate too, dude. They're gonna stop him. This dog's pretty upset about. Oh, there's another dog. It's I believe. I'm saying probably interracial couple, but I'm thinking mixed race interracial, soft interracial. And then we have a nice Northeast Philly Irish fella. Good afternoon. Walking, very well behaved dog. Fantastic. Please don't touch the tripod. Please, 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 please. Wow, that's what you really like to see. No, that might just be Wiggers. The Wiggers dog is going fucking nuts right now. Anyway, so the nuke's coming out, and I start licking my teeth. I go, yeah, finally, dude. Everyone's gonna see it. You know, like, do I love that he's like trying to destroy the federal government? Yeah, dude, that's the best idea ever. But he still sucks, okay? But I thought about it I sat on it for a little bit because I thought, anyone would be mad at Elon for this. What is there? How could I possibly look at this in a different angle? I don't want to just go on my base assumptions and raw emotions. And I did think about it, and I guess what, dude? This might be the thing that he's doing best. He's like the guy in front of all of like the biggest the most big name technological advances right now, but what he's really doing is like taking money and putting it into like teams that do it. And like the Cybertruck sucks, obviously Tesla can suck my dick, but his thing like works, okay? Whatever you think of the end result, I don't think much of it. I could think about it more and talk about it later, but he does rockets and electric cars and I guess Twitter, AI and stuff like that. Like the stuff's going out the door. But he doesn't actually know how to do anything. But he gets money, and he puts it on people, and people do. So I think him doing that, and by the way, being very successful, he's near the top of the leaderboards. I think this might be a reassurance. It would actually be worse if he was putting in the time it would take to be at the top of the Diablo 4 hardcore leaderboard. That would be worse. It would be bad if I did it. But he goes, you know what? I have enough money. I'm gonna pay Yoshi to do it. I'm like, okay. He got to the top. Pretty fucking cool. Anyway, that's where I'm at on Elon right now. That's subject to change at any time. I don't like the multiple kids, the infinite baby mamas hack. I don't like that. I don't trust that. I do feel something about like people denying their biological urge to have children. There's something there. But having like a ton of them with different ladies, I think is, it doesn't sit right with me for some reason. Hello. Something about it just isn't right, dude, I think Andrew Tate does it too. And I shouldn't even be speaking on what other men do. I don't think that's right. But I'm just saying, They got it backwards. The best part is, not paying a woman that you fucked one time $1 million a month forever to like be like a satellite family. The whole thing is like, creating a warm home. Isn't that? So something about it just isn't great. Yeah, that's my Elon thing. No, actually, no. The whole point of doing the kids thing is like becoming familiar with like your wife's cooking and shit, and like tension with like scheduling between your extended families and stuff. That's what you're supposed to be doing, not having like 15 kids with OnlyFans girls. I get the like depopulation thing, but it's like, bruh. You get one bad bitch, lock her down, give her the same $1 million a month. But I don't know what power does to a guy, I did like that this kid was picking his nose in the Oval Office. A kid with the capacity to be like bored and shitty, I guess he'll be okay. But still, dude, it's I don't want guys like that. I don't want guys like that controlling stuff. Even if I like some of the stuff that they do. Like their speeches and stuff like that and like what they do when they get really excited. Even if I like that about a guy, that's like inhuman, bro. And it's funny. It's funny to laugh, and he gives them all stupid names. But it's like, what the hell? Imagine. That's crazy. And I think he has conversations with him where he's just like, I'm proposing to you a mutually beneficial arrangement where you essentially bear my offspring, and I more or less talk about them on my website, complain about them being trans. And they go, wow. And they're talking to the richest guy in the world, so they're just like, that's like, what? That's like what I want to do. That's crazy. Oh my God. And they're texting their friends like, oh my God, dude, I'm fucking rich. And there we are. And then I'm going to insert now. And dude, you imagine how much, I guess if I was a girl, I'd fuck Elon Musk just to see what that's like, for sure. But, there's him like sending you weird text messages and like getting you to go get like drinks, and he shows you some place that like he can shut down because he's the richest guy ever, and you're like, wow. Or he takes you to some like dinner that they make like fucking Martian food or whatever, and you're just like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But at some point, dude, his clothes come off and his weird body is just wiggling on top of you, and he's doing like weird like I think when Elon Musk gets you pregnant, you lay flat on your back and he lays flat on top of you, and he wiggles his arms and legs like this, and he goes and like that's got to be a tough moment to get through, man. There might not be anyone I respect more in the entire world than Elon Musk's 15 baby moms. That weird guy. Oh, dude, and like his kissing style's got to be fucking crazy, man. Dude. Imagine the physical sensation of Elon Musk's like tongue just going straight into your mouth and he's wiggling on top of you. And you're like, I'm never going to have to even think about money for the rest of my life. He's saying your fucking pussy is epic sauce. Incredible pussy, ma'am. Have my up, dude. He calls his dick his up, dude. Yeah. Okay, that's my whole Elon Musk thing. In other wife news, I caught up on the Kanye stuff. Man, that guy's got some funny ideas. My heart goes out to him. Kanye. I feel deeply for him. I think I do think he's on the upswing. I think he's coming out of like an all-time, like a historical spaz in a must-spaz situation, though. I think he had everything taken from him. He had a basically a black falling down moment where he was just pushed to the breaking point. He had his family was gone. Kim took the kids away, put them on Pete Davidson's shoulders. You put on TMZ, your favorite website, because you're black. you travel to TMZ. You probably have the app on your phone. You're reading the TMZ app on your phone because you're Kanye and you're black. And you're seeing like paparazzi video of your kids like smiling and laughing, and Pete Davidson's like wearing jewelry and has tattoos, and he's bouncing them up and down on their shoulders. And you're not allowed to see them or anything like that. And like, they're going to start picking up his mannerisms and shit. And you're just like, I'm surprised he didn't blow his brains out on the spot. So that triggers a spaz, as is every man's right. The right to spaz is sacred and important. And we need to preserve it. He didn't do anything illegal. He just spazzed. And he let it all out, and then I guess he that tail spun into like he had a full-on Jew spaz. Oh boy. He really stepped in it. That's quicksand. The Jew spaz is really quicksand. You start off in a little bit of trouble, and everything that you think you should do, every single one of your instincts that you have in a Jew spaz puts you deeper in the quicksand. You go, whoops, okay, they got pretty mad at that. The ankle deep. You start reaching down. You're Homer getting out of quicksand. You're just reaching down. And you go, well, I'm going to point out that they're kind of making my point by punishing me in this way. When I say they control money and celebrity and they get me blacklisted and take my money away, I'm just going to point that out, and then everyone's going to see what I'm saying. And now your chest is touching the quicksand. And now you're like, okay, well, you know who had some really good ideas? And you splash into the quicksand with your face with a swastika shirt. I'm just saying I can track it. I'm not supporting anything he says or does. I did actually know I am supporting when he said, if you and a fat bitch pussy understand it's because you're broke. That's an all-time tweet. So he's got this wife now. I forget her name, but I can see her boobs when I close my eyes. And what a awesome sick move. As a guy like me, guy like anybody really, you don't have to ogle or anything like that, but when you scroll past Kanye showing off his wife's tits and pussy, cats have involuntary reactions to some of the places that you scratch them. And so even as me, a guy who's I'm no lecherous pervert, but even just scrolling past that, you go, whoa, okay. There's still some good in this world. The light hasn't gone out yet. That's all I think. That's literally all I feel when I scroll past 4K photos of Kanye and his naked wife with her tits and pussy. I think you should show off your wife. I think I do. I honestly, I don't know what weird arrangement they have, or what. Maybe, I don't know if she's into like exhibitionism, or if that's like a model thing. Sometimes like models do like something with their boobs out on the runway or whatever, or their pussy showing, and it's like, wow, dude, this is fucking high level, right? Maybe she's into that, and I'm not saying it was like her idea or anything, or maybe it was, but maybe also, she's embarrassed by it, and they get like a kick out of that. Maybe she's humiliated by being dragged around red carpets with her boobs in a net, and that's like a cool thrill for them. And even in that case, hell yeah, go ahead, guys. It's your life. But I think I do the same thing with MJ, my wife. I do the same thing with my wife's personality, like who my wife is. I think I do equally like intimate and perverse. I'm just like, you guys got to know about this lady. You guys got to know about the best lady in the world, right? So in that way, I'm even like, once again, I empathize with Kanye. Hey guys, check out my wife. We're not on red carpets or anything, but shit, you see this? Pretty cool, right? He's got his wife showing that stuff, and it's great. But you also have to remember Kanye is an artist. He's an artist first. Everything he does, there's some second level to it. And I did not go to college, so I don't have access to the second level of any thought, really. I have the first thing. I resist the urge to call it gay. And then, blah, whatever, bam, first thought. So there's definitely a second level to it. And I know that that's true anytime you see tits in the public. Anytime you see tits in the public, there's art happening. It's not just because... I guess one of the statements is, this rules, tits are fucking awesome, right? But there's always, like, it represents something, or I don't know. I really honestly didn't get the message. When I was a kid and we started seeing old art, like Renaissance paintings and shit with tits in it, and we couldn't stop laughing and, like, making a absolute ruckus. I didn't really understand what anyone told me about why there was tits in the paintings. But I understand. I got the gist of, like, there's another level to it. It's important or whatever like that. I don't know, the human form or something like that. This is like an exhibition of the progress made in the ability to render a two-dimensional image. Well, okay, I don't know, but there must be something. And Kanye's, it's tough to do it in music. Well, like the stuff that he's done in music, I guess probably won't be done again because. I guess everyone thought he was like a musical genius. That was like I guess I'd probably agree, right? I wouldn't argue with someone who says like Kanye is a musical genius. Okay, that's fine. we're on common ground there. But like, no one's ever again gonna give a fuck, and I think Kanye just proved this. No one's ever gonna give a fuck about like an unexpected rare musical sample that like is boppy, but also like it's also a symbolic link to something in the lyrics, and it's just like, bro, no one cares, man. We have fat big ass slut rap now, and that's fine. We're good, man. You're overthinking it. But with the wife thing, I think the statement that I am receiving on that is like they took everything from me. In multiple senses. I'm not saying them, but they took everything from me. They fucked with my bag. They they helped with the destruction of my familial unit. I have I'll never have a career the way I used to. I have to transition to the next phase. I have to reinvent myself like Salvador Dali. And my new thing is this is what I have sex with. Look at all that shit you pulled on me, guys, but check this out. This is the fucking lady I have sex with. This is the whole thing. Boom. That, and I don't know if that moves me much, but I get like hitting the entire general public with that, especially the haters. The haters are fucking probably in shambles, dude. I have sex with this. Bam. Check that out. You're doing better than me? Show it, please. Prove it. Honestly, he might even, when she took off the thing at the Grammys or Oscars or whatever, and she was wearing that like clear plastic thing, it's like, bruh, I don't even take this thing off the shelf, dude. Look at this. I keep it wrapped in the plastic, dude. I don't even fuck this. I have this. I don't even fuck it, man. This is my dream car. I keep this in the garage. I polish it on the weekends. I never fuck it. I have street pussy. I have grocery getting pussy. That's my daily drivers, backup dancers and shit like that, good ones. This one's cherry. No one. I actually took this off the market. No one has sex with this one. And I'm blown away if that's what he's doing. Fucking magnificent. Bravo. Bravissimo, even. Kanye. Pretty cool, dude. And just thanks for hitting us all with the distant pussy. That is what's up, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. Guys, if you need a little boost, embrace the power of nature and elevate your day with Via. Via hemp products range from 0 to 100 milligrams of THC, so you can choose your own adventure. They've got THC and THC-free gummies and vapes, THCA flowers, topicals, and even calming drops made from the highest quality American-sourced hemp. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm frozen to the bones even just from being out there for a little bit today. And I got to tell you, I plan on getting under a blanket and really turning my brain off with a little bit of THC thanks to Via. There's no medical card required, and Via ships legally to almost every state in the United States. If you're over 21, check out the link to Via in the description and use the code Butterly, that's butterfly without the F, to receive 15% off. And if you're new to Via, get a free gift of your choice. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, support the show, and tell them we sent you. This month of love, elevate your love life with Via. Oh my God, right, it was Valentine's Day. Oh, hell yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Also, Tim Butterly's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We're always hearing about red flags about your partner, red flags in your friendship groups. What if we started looking for the green flags instead? Therapy can help you identify those green flags, practice them in your relationships, and make your life a better place to be. BetterHelp's online therapy is amazing. It's 100% online, so it's easy and convenient. You can access a diverse network of over 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. Guys, I've said it time and again, I really got my head screwed on straight using an online therapist, and it doesn't have to be forever, and it doesn't even have to be for you, but it's cool to give it a try and maybe start recognizing some of your spazzes before they even happen. Whatever you're going through, there's someone who can help. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/butterly. Once again, that's butterfly without the F. Today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BUTTERLY. Thanks, BetterHelp. And now back to the program. I saw that World of T-Shirts guy, Joshua Block, I think is his name, crashed out in Japan. Which is like been done. I'd hate to think that I mean, if you're familiar with TBS, you know, you've been following World of T-Shirts with us. I think he's way more successful than I am online, which makes it weird to talk about him. And it seems like a lot of people know about it. The people, if I was still as much of an internet guy as I was 10 years ago, I'd probably be following him. Like, dude, I followed Chris Chan in real time, you know? I'd probably be following this guy pretty tightly. And so I guess he's in Japan streaming, and he is, like, getting fucked up and doing all the stuff he does. He crashes out in America. I don't think he needed to book a fucking $3,000 flight. He crashes out here. So I guess he is kind of doing his thing. You know, it's everyone's crashing out in Asia on live streams, and it's just, it works, you know? It's a fucking formula that you can repeat. And I wonder if there's like a lower tier of black dudes freaking out in Japan that aren't like doing the same numbers, you know what I mean? Like I guess they're probably doing, you know, something. They gotta be getting something, but they're not doing like Johnny Somali. They're not doing fucking, Kai Sanat. They're not doing like Lamborghini numbers. But, you know, they get a check. So Josh Block went, and he's like headbutting buildings and like punching people and just doing all, you know, he's a fucking rambunctious little guy. He's a rascal. He's a dude, a true blue rascal. He's the number one rascal worldwide. And man, there before the grace of God go I, you know. You take being a lifelong internet retard, and you remove the sunlight of, you know, a couple of like good friends, and my God, a woman, you know, and that's me. I'd probably reach a point. I think I would reach a point where biologically I would feel like I wasn't getting enough attention, and instead of starting a stand-up comedy career where I talk about, you know, my life as a working family man, I just start getting super fucked up. I act on my lifelong impulse to travel to Japan, and I start acting up there. And dude, that's not a very far quantum leap for me. But I'm curious about, I guess it's like the polite Asian culture. Like, it seems so obvious, but like causing a disruption in a very polite Asian city, and the reaction that you're curious about it. Everyone's curious about it. Anyone that's visited Asia, well, I'm assuming, I'm for certain it's similar in Korea. I felt it myself in Japan. And I guess those are the two big countries right now. But when you're there and you look at how clean the streets are, and how, like, even down to like people's like gates, like the way that Asian people walk, like, take a look around. When you're at the supermarket, it's mostly like fat people waddling and like experiencing rudder issues. Their sneakers are more worn, the soles are more worn toward the outside, and it's just like walking around with their mouth open, not really sure what to focus on in the environment. In Asia, it's like those people could, you know, walk through something skinny. Fuck. You know, if If you see a gap between two things and daylight can even make its way through, an Asian person without adjusting their gait could walk straight through it without touching the sides, dude. And the businesses are like very efficiently run, and I just can't tell you enough how fucking clean it is, man. The ground looks like fake. It looks like the ground at a theme park. A nice theme park, by the way. A Hershey Park. It looks like you're walking around Hershey Park when you're in Japan. And, you know, if you hear someone being loud, like if anything gets your attention besides, like, you know, all the lights and the sounds of, like, you know, music and stuff like that coming out of, you know, the businesses and shit like that. If you hear someone speaking up, if you hear someone speaking through a megaphone, it's probably pretty important. It's not just someone, you know, on speakerphone arguing about $20, like here in America. And so you're walking around there, and I was only there for like 10 days, and you notice it the entire time. You feel like, you know how in Severance when the guy is, when what's his face in the beginning, when he meets the guy that had the procedure reversed, and the guy's like seeing two worlds at the same time. You feel that the entire time you're in Japan. You think about the disgusting filth on American city streets. It makes you feel like you live in Bombay. You're walking around Japan, it's so orderly and peaceful, and you go, what if I just started fucking screaming or pushed someone? What if I held someone against a wall for a couple of seconds? I think the entire country would find out. I think it would be like the entire country would be like an ant colony on high alert. And they would all descend on me, or just enough of them to pull me limb from limb. And I think that is kind of the reaction you get when you start like freaking out and screaming at people. And like in America, that's fine. That doesn't, honestly, most people don't even turn their head to look. If you're walking down the street in New York City and you start screaming and like flinching at people, you can touch people and they just go, "What?" You can grab the shoulder of someone's coat and they'll just go, and they'll keep walking. They won't even address that you did it most of the time. You do that in an Asian city, and it's like cops that you didn't know were there come running. Foot patrolmen run and beat the fuck out of you. They throw you on the ground and they punch you and shit and they hit you with stuff. And they put you in prison for 2 years or something like that. But you feel that impulse as you're standing there. You're on like an elevated like walkway, you know, going into a train station, and you look over and you see just the most people you've ever seen at one time outside of like a music festival walking. No one's bumping into each other. No one is showing any signs of aggression. You go, what if I just turned into the Hulk right now? What if I just ran down these steps screaming and kicked the first person I saw? How many? It would be like playing Dead Rising. Was it Dead Rising? Was that the zombie game in the mall? You could kill 5,000 Japanese people with a lawnmower, you imagine, easily. You run around, 2 chainsaws. You could headwalk on them. You could headwalk on Japanese people if you get a good running start. Maybe like a ledge. If you run along a ledge, maybe waist high, which is, I mean, everyone there is this tall. You run along a waist high ledge and get a good enough start. You can headwalk, I'm saying, quarter of a mile before you hit the ground. I'm just saying, I get the impulse, and I'm kind of more invested than ever because it might be a good play. I think World T-shirts, Japanese Crash Out is, if I'm his agent, I'm saying let's get this on the books. Guys, I think this is a pretty cool experiment. Maybe I'm way off. Maybe this sucks. And if it does, let me know. I'm all ears. You know, you guys know me. I'm here for you. But maybe we're onto something. Thanks for coming out into the woods with me today, guys. This is a special place that I'll miss when I leave Philadelphia. Does seem to be getting kind of worse, though. There are a lot more homeless people living here in tents than there used to be. Most of the spots that I usually pull up to, now there's just a guy standing next to a bicycle drinking out of a school bag. And I'm not saying those guys are homeless. And honestly, those are part of any thriving public park ecosystem. I'm not even bumming about them, actually. Maybe I'll miss that. Maybe I'm walking headfirst into the Hank Scorpio episode of The Simpsons and my entire family. And that would be so funny. That would rule. Oh my God, to change my mind and move back to Philadelphia would be hysterical. You know, what an unbelievable blunder. I think I play it too careful most of the time and end up missing out on, you know, some pretty what would you call it? Remarkable experiences. Feels good. Next week changes are in the works. This one's probably, I haven't checked the time, this one's probably a little on the lean side, but this is an experiment, and honestly at this point I am concerned about overcommitting to the bit and sucking at this and having a lot of me sucking at it out there. So let's say this is cool. You guys let me know, and I'll never do this again. But I wanted to, I had to get out of the house. I was going to go fucking crazy. I was going to snap. So I would love it. By the way, my Canadian tour dates are confirmed. I've got like 8 shows in Canada, including Ontario, and well, you'll see. There's definitely going to be in the video description links to those. And I'd love to see you there. I've had so many people ask me to come to Canada, and I put it off forever. I didn't even have a fucking passport for a long time. And it didn't even seem feasible. Also, it's like a foreign country. I guess it's kind of the same. I like that things are weird right now. That'll give us something to talk about at least. But do I have anything for Canadian people? Do Canadian people laugh like us? We're going to find out. We're taking big risks. We're taking huge, fully committed swings. And if I end up fucking twisting my ankle and falling face first into the batter's box, so be it. Also, South Bend, Indiana. But by the time, before next weekend, when this comes out, or 2 weeks from now, Wiseguys in Las Vegas. I'm going to fucking Vegas, baby. It's just pretty cool right now. But let me know if it's not. Let me know if everything actually sucks and I should just be worried every day, because I could do that too. Let me know if I should be worried that like the bottom's going to fall out, none of this is going to work, or I'm going to just fucking like run out of things to say. But let me know if that's what's coming, and I'll make some adjustments. But I think things are pretty fucking cool. There's over on the Patreon, we have a special dish being served up by Dylan and Noah for you guys this week. It's patreon.com/Tim Butterly, where we also have, you know, the back half of the entire catalog of Tim Butterly shows. Other than that, and also don't forget to watch Metal Girl Solid. I think that's going fucking pretty swimmingly. We're up to 8 episodes on YouTube now, and so that was the last one in the backlog. So we will return to streaming Metal Girl Solid live on Twitch next week. Pay attention to social media for time and date, and then of course that will be uploaded to YouTube after. I honestly think this next session might be the end game. I think she might be getting ready to fight Rex, and dude, she cried after the Vulcan Raven fight. Cried, full on breakdown. I don't know if I think I was being supportive. Maybe I was putting a little bit of pressure on her, but she cried. It's like, we'll have to go over the results when it's over, but something's happening. We're looking inside the test tube and there's a reaction happening. We don't know what it is yet, but that's for later. Twitch.tv/Tim Butterly. Other than that, thank you guys, and see you next week.